Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Today I'm in the type of mood where I should rather not talk to anyone. I should rather tape my mouth and close my door and read a book. But I shall persevere and unleash my fury on the royals instead. Today, however, before I unleash the demon, I want to talk a little about William because people are still doubting things I recently said about William. And one person in particular even straight out accused me of lying. But you see, unlike others like Lady C and Neil Sean who are in the right position and or profession to get some insider information, I'm not. I do not even live in Britain. But as far as England goes, I have two brilliant, excellent, and very, very truthful contributors. The one in particular is very, and I mean extremely, loyal to William and Catherine, and to an extent the royal family in general. He also does not gossip at all. He does not contact me, I contact him, and only, and I would say 1 or 2 times out of 10, he would actually answer my question. But when he does, I can take it to the bank. The other person, however, does provide some gossip. She will provide truthful information, and she always makes it very clear which is which. And then there are a few others who provide me with local and European news. So it has been since Charles's coronation that I've been told that William sees the world differently, and in particular very different from his father. For instance, Charles attended COP and WEF summits and called for war-like actions to curb climate change in very emotional speeches, whereas William gets up, forms Earthshot, calls for new innovations, designs and ideas, which he then gives money to grow and succeed. Charles built Poundland. William is building homes for the homeless. Charles called on government to stop ownership of land in the Duchy of Cornwall. You could own your home, but not the land it sits on. So the government stopped these leaseholds years ago, except in Cornwall. Well, William finally said enough. I'm not a feudal king or landlord, and he started to implement full ownership in parts of Cornwall. So yes, the fact that William governs very differently from his father is not gossip. The fact that they had serious disagreements over many things is indeed fact and not gossip. It is also fact that although respectful to his father and his position, William is slowly but surely moving away from his father and his administrations. And to prove this, William has just broken away from the royal solicitors Harbottle and Lewis and has appointed Diana's divorce lawyers to act on behalf of him and his family. William hired Mishcon de Raya, the firm who represented his mother in her divorce from Charles, and I'm told that although it may mean little to nothing to us, Charles may very well perceive this as a slight from William. Although Richard Eden may or likely does not even know about me or my channel, it appears that he agrees with me, or at least I with him, that this is not the first time William struck out on his own. William is clearly showing that he is his own man and will not easily do something he does not agree with, even if the instruction came from his father the king. An example Richard Eden gave is when William scheduled and gave a major interview about his homelessness project the day after Charles's first official birthday parade, or then Trooping the Colour. So now others are finally picking up on things which I told you ages ago. The two men are so different that it is not hard to understand and accept that working together will never be 100% peaceful. Anyway, guys, so Harry gave a speech talking about Travelist a few days ago. Well, one day I'll take the time to try and figure out exactly what Travelist actually does, because to date I really have no clue, and quite frankly I'm not really interested either. I tried to listen and take in Harry's speech, but less than a minute into it my attention drifted off to somewhere else. I tried again and the same thing. So maybe one day I will manage to stay the course. But never mind. On Thursday, Harry released a statement basically saying that what transpired over the last week has been heartbreaking to witness, especially when such blatant lies hurt those who have invested decades in this shared goal. Oh, boo bloody who. I feel like writing a King Charles type letter to Harry, stating, "It is with my most insincere regret that my friends and I witness your shit finally coming out." Well, this moronic statement actually tells us a lot. If nothing happened, and Harry was indeed innocent, he would have said something like, "It is with sincere regret that certain actions or words were misinterpreted. We are working on setting up a mediation meeting, and it is my hope that the current issue can be resolved peacefully for the sake of Centre Bali and the vulnerable people it serves." Now, doesn't that sound better coming from an innocent man? But no, Harry's immediately on the defensive. And I mean, what blatant lies. We saw, the entire world saw, and can still see how your wife manipulated and maneuvered Dr. Sophie to the side so she could stand next to you in the middle, although she is in no way affiliated with Centre Bali or Polo. We also saw how she turned her back on Dr. Sophie and pushed her out of the picture when photographs were taken. Dr. Sophie also says she still has the email you sent her, and I'm 100% sure that she has. She's an intelligent and experienced lawyer, so I would suggest that you, Harry, keep quiet before you get sued and lose your underwear, because I don't think you have much else to lose at the moment. I think your wife has already stripped you from everything you had, and now she's also stripping you from your own charity. But it's not going to help talking to you, Harry. Anyway, that statement also tells me that Harry is so spoiled, has such an ego, is so entitled, that he cannot recognize that he lives in a world where he cannot just do or say what he wants, when he wants to, and to whom he wants to. In Britain, Australia, Canada, and a few other places, he may be the king's son, but in America, Africa, and Asia, he is nobody. just Harry. Now, I'm a white African with Scottish and British ancestry, and I will not call Harry Prince Harry or Your Royal Highness. I'll call him by his name, or in a formal setting, either nothing, or if I'm in a good mood, maybe sir, as in yes sir, no sir. Or how about Mr. Windsor or Mr. Mountbatten Windsor? And Megan, to me, she is, hey you. I do not think Harry even recognizes when he is rude or belligerent. I think it's just a reflection of who he thinks he is and not who he thinks anyone else is. Okay, guys, I have long stories to tell you, but my long stories are being interrupted by earaches and flea market woes, the neighbour shooting at the birds I'm feeding under my own tree in my own yard. Guys, this year started on a wrong note. On the 18th of February, we submitted a written request to our local council for permission to erect a fence of sorts 2 meters from our kitchen lounge and my bedroom window. On the 17th of March, we found the gentleman whom my daughter handed the letter to. And do you know what he tells her? Sorry, he has not had time to pay attention or even look at her request because he is too busy. Well, sir, I wonder what you will do if I'm too busy to pay my taxes, my utilities and services. Oh, I know. You will cut it off. Anyway, my dear friends, it is time for me to distract myself before I get mad all over again. Please, my friends, please take care of yourselves until we meet again on the next one. Bye.